I've been watching Malayalam movies religiously since 2017. For me, it's not just a hobby, it's a commitment to seeking out some of the best storytelling in the country. But living in a city where Malayalam films rarely get a theatrical release, this has always been a struggle. I've had to hunt down every title I could get my hands on, which meant for the longest time OTT platforms were my absolute best friends. But things are finally shifting. It's happening at a snail pace, sure, but the landscape is changing. Now we actually see some Malayalam movies getting a theatrical window here. I thank God that I managed to catch Chatha Pacha, the Ring of Rowdies, on its very first day. The reality of being a fan of South Indian cinema in a Hindi dominated market is harsh. If a movie isn't dubbed, the audience is almost non existent. In fact, to keep a show from getting cancelled, we need a minimum of 5 people to book tickets. Since nobody is booking, I'm stuck. I desperately want to rewatch it, but it looks like I'll have to wait until it arrives on OTT. It's a bittersweet feeling. I'm happy I was there for the premiere, but sad that the theatre experience for such a unique film is so short-lived. Chatha Pacha is at its core a massive love letter to the WWE from debutant director Advaith Nayar. You can feel it in every frame. This is a movie made by a wrestling fan, especially for wrestling fans. The film opens with a sequence that I think every single one of us can relate to. It shows 3 brothers playing WWE with each other. We are talking full-blown chokeslams and suplexes right there in the bedroom. They are breaking the bed, the house is in chaos, and their mother is running behind them in a total rage. Tell me who hasn't tried a chokeslam at home during their childhood, whether it was on a younger sibling or a stack of pillows. That era of wrestling was our religion. There is a specific feel of nostalgia that Advaith Nayar captures here that transcends the screen. It's not just about the sport, it's about the memories of growing up in that Attitude Era bubble. After a decade, the character Little returns to Kochi with a vision. He wants to take this costume fighting and make it mainstream in the streets of Kerala. He calls it Friday Fight Night. And for all intents and purposes, it is a WWE brought to life in a local context. The characters, the elaborate costume designs, the promo cutting and the scripted storylines all feel deeply inspired by the golden years of American pro wrestling. As a WWE fan, my adrenaline was through the roof. Seeing names like Nitro Bird, Bhasmasuran and Lobo on the screen felt so fresh. And the moves, when Nitro Bird pulled off a 619, I was genuinely pumped up. Every time someone landed a perfect suplex, the energy in the scene skyrocketed. There is one specific moment where Little climbs up a ladder only to jump from a terrifying height. It was a direct throwback to the holy shit moments of Mick Foley or Shane. Those guys did crazy, insane stunts that redefined our expectations of what a human body could take, and Chatha Pacha respects that legacy. For a long time, people looked down on WWE, calling it fake. But as this film points out, while it might be scripted, the sweat, the blood, and the sheer hard work of these wrestlers are as real as it gets. There is no denying the physical toll. Advaith Nayar makes a very strong point in portraying these fighters in a way that lets the audience know exactly how dangerous this world is. You see the precision required, you see the years of practice. It's about letting people know that a stunt is still a feat of incredible athleticism. The best thing about Chatha Pacha is that it never makes fun of the sport. It doesn't treat it as a joke or a gimmick. It comes from a place of pure love. The film even mirrors the classic WWE structures, the different eras, the bitter rivalry storylines, and the brother versus brother arcs that we saw with Kane and the Undertaker. Nayar tries to replicate that same intensity with the characters Savio and Vetri. However, no match is perfect. While the film sets up the final main event of Friday Fight Night with a lot of hype, there is a structural problem. The story builds towards this massive climax, but the match is set up as hero versus hero. In my opinion, this took a lot of weight away from the villain's arc, especially Cherian. And man, let's talk about Cherian. He's the kind of a villain you just love to hate. He's the guy you are sitting in your seat thinking, I cannot wait for this guy to get a solid beating. He wears these incredibly colorful clothes and looks like a straight up anime villain. But the real shocker comes at the end. When he finally removes his shirt, you realize he has a total sleeper build. I was honestly shocked. He was scary, cool, and his fight moves were incredibly stylized. Throughout the movie, I never expected him to be that formidable in the ring. He turned out to be the most coolest person in the room for all the wrong reason. Then there's the cameo. One of the biggest superstars of Malayalam industry shows up, but to be honest, it felt like a misfire. It reminded me of Amir Khan's cameo in Coolie. It's there just for the name's sake. It provides a quick burst of excitement because of the star power, but it doesn't really nourish the story or the world Advaith Nayar built. Despite those flaws, the WWE aspect of Chatha Pacha is awesome. There is truly no other film like this, not just in Malayalam cinema, but in all of Indian cinema. Nothing like this has ever been attempted on this scale. It took me straight back to my childhood. It reminded me of the phase where me and my friends would sit around and come up with crazy theories about the wrestlers. We used to believe that the Undertaker's powers were literally in his hair, and if he ever cut it, he'd lose his strength. And then, when he actually did cut his hair and started losing matches to Brock Lesnar, we were like, see, we told you. Chatha Pacha captures the exact energy of kids theorizing about Friday Fight Night. It balances the brother versus brother drama with the backstage politics represented by Cherian and his schemes. Speaking of Cherian, he feels like a product of a toxic father, much like Ranvijay in Animal. He's just a guy trying to prove his worth to a father who will never be satisfied. The fights are choreographed with such passion and the music is so infectious that during some scenes I was literally hoping I could jump into the screen and be part of the ring. Chatha Pacha is a total vibe. The performances are top notch across the board. My only gripe is the pacing between the halves. The first half is way too good because it focuses so heavily on the unique WWE world. The second half, the focus shifts towards more conventional drama, and that kills some of the momentum. The first half feels like something we have never seen before, while the second half starts to feel like every other movie. If they had stayed focused on the Friday Fight Night mechanics until the very end, this could have been a masterpiece. Still, it is a very good watch. It's a treat for the eyes and a punch to the gut for everyone who grew up with a wrestling poster on their wall. I highly recommend it, especially to the WWE fans. You guys are in for a serious treat. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.